Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Malika K. Fowler of Malika's International, seeking to make all lives actualize and inspired through kind actions. I am passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness and taking compassionate actions towards all fellow human beings. Today, I'd like to continue the conversations with the topic of interconnectedness, but in alignment with taking extra time to talk to people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all interconnected in this world. Believe it or not. Learned to coexist with each other. Why? Each of us are living. We are living and breathing. We are living and breathing human beings. I do want you to believe that we are living and breathing human beings. What do I mean by that? We have the same zip code. Guess what? We have the same zip code, and this zip code is called what? It's called planet Earth. We are all spiritual beings, but we are all human beings. But we are also all spiritual beings. What do I mean by we are all spiritual beings? Why we are all spiritual beings? This is one thing I do want you to take into consideration. Within each of us lies a sublimness, and sublimness which makes us spiritually bond. To contemplate about something, do you remember a time when someone talked to you when you felt so lonely in your life? Perhaps you went to the grocery store. Perhaps you were just shopping and something happens to you and you just wanted someone to say hello. There is a possibility of that happening. I do want you to think about that, because I know that when someone who ever talked to you in that situation was ahead, you fell ahead of you, and value your input. I'm okay. How are you? How did that make you feel? How do you feel? How did that make you feel? I'm repeating that for a purpose. Think about that feeling you felt with that positive. It was a positive encounter that the extra feelings of your fellow human beings. Think about that if you would extend the same courtesy to your fellow human beings. How you felt when someone say, how are you today? How is everything going on? So let's think about, we're the same human beings. We work. We go into an organization. Think about how you as a leader, what it means to your employees. If you say, how are you today? All of us, in every way and situation have a story. We are not people who go to work and are different from the people that came from our different homes. We're the same people. We pretend to wear a hat of being professional, but deep down inside of our seat, we sit as human beings. And as human beings, sometimes something comes out of us. I do want you to take into consideration the feelings of how you felt when someone you felt in position of power who talked to you. How does that make you feel? Was it a feeling you felt with positive encountered? Was it that extra feelings that you can think about? Okay? and that you can extend to your fellow human beings. Ladies and gentlemen, you will find out that if you pay attention to people, you'll find out that if you pay attention to people, you will get the best of them. And do you know why? Do you know why if you pay attention to people, you'll get the best of them? I'm going to reference and credit this to my encounter with a stranger I met. I met a lady at a commercial store, and I'm not going to name the store. I was in line. It was during the summer of 2017. I was standing in line, and ahead, 2 spaces ahead of me, was a woman dressed in a different traditional clothes. And as she approached the line where her turn, I remember the cashier or the manager asked her, "Do you know that you do not need to be here?" Because I talked about assumptions. I talked about the misguided nature of assumption. I did not know the whole history of it. And so what did I do? I went up and I sent the Western Union to my sister. Well, I didn't leave that place. I didn't leave that place because my life, the core nature of my life is to serve my fellow human beings. And as I am passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness, I wish that you can have the core nature of your life to serve your fellow human beings. Because serving your fellow human beings, you never will go wrong. I went up, I did my transactions. When I was done, I walked up. As I was leaving, this lady was standing to the door. She was in the situation where she sat on the ground. I wasn't sure. You can call it compassion. You can call it whatever it is. I stopped. I said, "Can I help you?" And tears came to her eyes. And she said, "I just came to exchange the Pampers for my grandbaby." And you think that I'm one of those who come to steal. And I said, "Okay." So I asked her, I say, "Are you sure what you're saying to me is true?" She said, she spoke very little English. But ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat this constantly. Where I came from, compassion. Compassion, I was told it was a way of helping other people. It was a human currency because everyone was so poor. It was a way of seeking blessing. So I said to her, I was going out, but I forgot that I was going out. I took the phone, I called my partner, and I said, "Okay, I'm helping someone." Of course, I walked up to the manager. I didn't make no assumption. I did not make so assumption, considering that I was very busy that day. I had to go do something. And I stopped. Because why? I've come to believe that the older I get, life becomes more challenging for me to face. It becomes more challenging for me to face, to walk away from things that I believe. And think, if I was that woman, would I want someone to walk away from me? And she sat in the corner crying. She was an older woman. She wasn't truly the mother of the baby. So anyway, long story short, I took her up to the counter. And the manager immediately said to me, "I want you to know there are people who come into our stores who are corrupt, who try to use the coupons. Trust me, I don't know what it is, and to do an exchange. And I said to him, I know that she is not trying to use the coupon. In fact, she is the grandmother of the daughter who received this coupon. And this doesn't fit the baby. All she's trying to do is exchange it. And she have a receipt. You know what he said to me? He said, I appreciate that you came up with her. There's a lot of them who does these things. I will believe you, and I will help her. He wasn't, he was just trying to be protective of his work and protective of his organization. So you can't blame me. There's two ways, like I said, it's three sides to a story. His story, her story, and the truth. And he aligned with the truth. So he said, okay, I will give consideration to this. He looked at it. She was truly not trying to do anything illegal. He said, okay, I'll let you and her go and pick a size for the baby Pampers. And he did. So I wasn't so busy. I took the time to talk to her. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever taken the time when you go into a place and see someone who is truly in need? And even though you are so busy, have you taken the time to stop and talk to them? Because I've come to believe that we will have more challenges in our lives. And those challenges will entitle us to face so many obstacles from a day-to-day basis, whether it's professional, social, and otherwise. But the last question I'm asking you that's left with what I'm asking you, how are you going to impact someone's life? If even you are in a place of being a manager in a grocery store, a manager at an airlines, a manager at a computer place, you are paid to interact with employees. You are paid to interact with customers. As actually your customer are your number one source, because without your customers you do not exist. Are you going to find that time to connect with your customer? Even though you may not be resistant if someone took the initiative like I did with this lady. Are you going to make it a purpose of yours to retain and sustain your business on a day-to-day basis? Are you not going to wait until something's happened before you want to make a connection? Because that's what happened. He wasn't rude. He wasn't disrespectful. But he made an assumption based on what had happened to him in the past. Are you going to care? Are you going to have compassion? Are you going to take the responsibility over or respect people? Even if you felt people were dishonorable, unethical, lack of integrity, are you going to acknowledge them, seek to understand why they are who they are, and be relatable to them? Are you going to serve your own ethical individuality to the fact that you can teach someone to be a baseline of being ethical to our society? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I want to tell you something, that when you become an interconnected person and being a self-actualized person, you will always allow yourself to become a change agent to this world where the person you are you have transcended into becoming a self-leader, and you become a person who transforming your life and that of humanity through what? Through services. I want to leave you with this. I want you to take into consideration before passing any premature judgment, before looking at your fellow human being as though they are not a part of humanity, before doing anything so forth. Look at your human element, your fellow human being, and give them a chance, because we are all interconnected. I want to thank you and have a beautiful day. Goodbye.